Chelsea, the same club that was in a banter era not too long ago. The same club who spent over £1 billion just to finish in 12th place. The same club who in the February of 2023 had one single contender for their goal of the month. Yes, that same team just became world champions. And not only did they become world champions, they did it by beating one of the best teams we have seen in the past decade. And coming into this game, no one gave a chance for Chelsea against PSG. We had ex-professionals saying Chelsea wouldn't do it. We had TikTokers saying Chelsea wouldn't do it. Your mom probably said Chelsea wouldn't do it. Your dog probably said Chelsea wouldn't do it. But guess what? Now, they look like absolute idiots. But if you were a Chelsea fan like myself, you absolutely knew that Chelsea had a chance going into this game. Every time we've been underdogs in the past, the 2012 Champions League final, the 2021 Champions League final, we've put in great performances and usually come out on top. But there's absolutely no way in hell you could have predicted the level of performance that we put in that day. Personally, I was at the game and I was absolutely shocked about what I was seeing on the pitch. You had Cucurella on the left looking like prime Roberto Carlos. You had Gusto on the right looking like Maicon. You had Cole Palmer looking like Lionel Messi. And you literally had Robert Sanchez looking like a prime Neuer. Yes, the same Robert Sanchez who has been called absolute horseshit by rival fans and Chelsea fans all year. But the single person who deserves the most credit for what Chelsea have done this season and what they did on Sunday against PSG has to be Enzo Maresca. At the beginning of the season, this guy came into a situation that no manager would ideally want to be in. There was so much pressure on Chelsea from the board, from the fans, from pundits, from everywhere. And this pressure was expected because last season they didn't have the best season. They finished 6th under Pochettino after a late run of good form. And along with that, they had spent over £1 billion in signings since Roman Abramovich left and Todd Boehly had taken over. All of this had boiled up into a huge amount of pressure for Maresca. He had to get a top 4 finish. He had to win at least one trophy. He had to show signs of good football because if not, Chelsea would be going downhill and it would not stop. Knowing this, he took over at the start of the season and absolutely overperformed. From August to the end of 2024, Chelsea were cooking. Any team they faced, they were beating. If they went down in a game, they would come back and win. Along with this, all the players were performing. I mean, Cole Palmer was absolutely thrashing teams at the start of the season. And it had looked like Caicedo and Enzo had finally performed that partnership that could go on to be one of the best midfields in the world. After every single match day, Chelsea were sitting either first or second place. But after a game on Boxing Day against Fulham, it seemed like Chelsea had reverted to their old ways. The same fussy attitude from the players, the same below par performances, the lack of mentality when we go against bigger opposition or go down in a game. This all crept back into the team and created the same thing that was happening before Maresca got here. Yes, Chelsea still did good in the Conference League, but it's the Conference League. Elsewhere, they were knocked out of the FA Cup by Brighton and had losses against Villa, Arsenal, draw against Brentford, draw against Ipswich. I mean, it looked like they couldn't buy a win at one point. They had also fallen far in the table from 1 to 6, and they were in a genuine top 4 race, when previously it seemed like they had it locked up. And then on April 20th, everything had changed again. And funnily enough, this was the reverse fixture that had caused this whole mess in the first place if we go back to December. This time, it was against Fulham at Craven Cottage. And at the start of this game, Chelsea fans thought it was just going to be another day, like usual for the past 5 months. Iwobi scored in the 20th minute to put Fulham up 1-0, and it would stay this way until the 83rd minute, when Cobham graduate Tyreek George stepped up and put the ball bottom corner to equalize. And this happened just 4 minutes after Maresca had subbed him on. And for the next 10 minutes, it seemed like Chelsea got their joy back. They were playing with passion. They were playing freely. They created some chances. And finally, in the 93rd minute, Pedro Neto scores an absolute banger to win them the match and absolutely boost their top 4 chances. After this, Chelsea won some hard-fought games to end the season against Everton, a 3-1 win against Liverpool, a 1-0 win against United, a 1-0 win against Nottingham Forest on the final day to secure top 4. And to end it off, a 4-1 win in the Conference League final against Real Betis after being 1-0 down in halftime. Maresca had gotten these players playing again. Cole Palmer looked back to himself. Cucurella, Chalobah, and Levi Colwill putting in absolute masterclasses every week. And Chelsea finished the season with top 4 and a trophy to show for it. And people expected this would be the last they would see from Chelsea this season, not expecting them to do anything big in the Club World Cup. But how wrong they were. Now, ultimately, it does come down to a little bit of luck from their side of the bracket. Because after finishing the group in second place after a loss to Flamengo in a win against Esperance and LAFC, Chelsea played Benfica in the first round, Palmeiras in the second round, and Fluminense in the semi-final. And it was pretty much a cakewalk. But honestly, there was nothing Chelsea could do. That Man City had lost on this side of the bracket. So had Inter Milan. So there's nothing they could do about that. And even adding on to that, Chelsea were playing beautiful football while doing it. Everyone was performing. Cole Palmer scored a goal. Pedro Neto was having a great tournament. It was just that bozo Nico Jackson who got a red card and basically didn't play the whole time. And the final masterstroke was signing João Pedro on the middle of his vacation to come in and score 2 goals in the semifinal. I mean, wow, I've never seen such a statement signing like this, especially in the middle of a big tournament like this. And after all this, eventually Chelsea would have reached the final and play against PSG, where they would absolutely dominate them, the best team in the world, and they got destroyed by Cole Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo, Reece James, Malo Gusto. Everyone on the pitch performed. And this is all due to Enzo Maresca's coaching. He didn't listen to the haters. He didn't listen to the critics. He just did what he wanted to do. He cut the squad down. Everyone was saying Chelsea had a big squad at the start of the season. 50 players, they said. He reduced it down to 23, had a great season, and now he's a champion of the world. But if you think he's done, you're far from right. Because in this next season, Chelsea will be challenging for the Premier League. I believe that Chelsea will make at least one more statement signing in Rodrigo, Mike Maignan, or whoever that may be in the rest of the transfer window. And do not be surprised if any of these following things happen. Don't be surprised if Chelsea win the league this season. Don't be surprised if Chelsea make a deep run in the Champions League. Don't be surprised if Cole Palmer wins the Ballon d'Or for next season. Because I'm telling you right now, Enzo Maresca has brought Chelsea back. And they're not leaving anytime soon.